Win the incredible Steigercraft 21DB Miami, powered by a Yamaha 200, in the ultimate season-long multiple species subscriber-only fishing competition, the Fisherman's 2017 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Go to thefisherman.com and enter today. The fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance Agency and Okuma.
Hey folks, Fred Golofaro here for this week's video fishing forecast, and things are definitely starting to turn into fall fishing patterns. We're in a transition period. Fluke starting to work their way to the inlet, starting to stage for their offshore migration. Definitely some more bass and bluefish action being reported now. Sea bass and porgies, you can look for that fishing to hold up easily for the next couple of months, and those seasons don't close till the end of the year, so there's plenty of that. And don't forget, sea bass bag limit went from 3 to 8 fish on September 1st. So let's take a look at what's happening around the island. Out on the east end, Montauk, I think we're going to expect some really good bass fishing on these full moon tides we have right now. Again, providing the weather cooperates. Best bet though is probably still sea bass and porgies, and again, providing there's not a big heave on the ocean, but that fishing just remains solid at the point and Block Island. Fluke, again, a lot depends on ocean conditions. There should still be some big fluke around, so we'll see what happens. Definitely give it a shot though if you're headed out to Montauk. Offshore fishing out there, definitely weather dependent. We'll be looking for good weather windows from this point on in. Out on the Forks, big blues, sea bass and porgies still being jigged off of Mattituck. That's still a good bet. And yes, there's still weak fish in Noyak Bay, or at least there were up through the weekend. Those weak fish aren't going to hang around too long once those bay waters start cooling down, but I think you still probably have a good shot at them for this weekend at least. And some kingfish and blowfish mixed with them also. And over in Shinnecock, there was a 13-pound, 2-ounce fluke caught in the inlet by a gentleman bass fishing. That was weighed at Molnar's Landing. So there are still some big fluke even on the inside, not all out in the ocean yet. Down along the South Shore, the reefs and inshore pieces for sea bass and porgies, still a real good bet down there. But there's been some good fishing in Great South Bay for bluefish and weak fish also. A few bass starting to mix in, and several of the capture boats are taking advantage of that with their evening trips. So if you're looking to do something down in that area, that's probably a good bet for the next few days and nights. On the west end, Ocean Fluke still holding up real good. It sounds like a broken record, but that fluking in the ocean, places like Cholera's picking up, and also inside along Reynolds Channel and inside some of the bays down on the west end, still good fluking. Again, we're in that transition period. A lot of those fish are going to be moving, working their way to the inlet and getting ready to move further offshore. I did talk to one guy who was fishing inside Jones Inlet. Him and his family, they're a total of, I don't know, 7 or 8 people. But they had well over 100 fluke. Unfortunately, they were all shorts, but a lot of fish in that 17, 18-inch range. So still a lot of fun on light tackle. But again, those fish they're staging in the inlet, ready to beat it for deeper water. There's also been an uptick in striper action in that area that week, as there's been in a lot of other places. At the far west end, Jamaica Bay's had a nice run of weak fish up to 6-7 pounds. Quite a few guys taking advantage of that. And the ocean blue fishing's been pretty consistent for a couple of the open boats that have been running off and looking for blues. Up on the North Shore, again, broken record. Porgies still holding really strong. They're everywhere in the sound. They're being caught from shore. They're being caught in boats. If you're getting tired of porgies, which wouldn't surprise anybody now, this has been an ongoing story through most of the summer up there. The blue fishing is picking up. We were getting some decent reports from places like Stepping Stone, Throgs Neck Bridge, Little Neck Bay, Northport Bay, Huntington Harbor, and Centerport Harbor. So if you're looking to do something different, the bluefish are starting to make an appearance inside the harbors, bays, on the bunker schools. So you can give that a shot there. The offshore fishing, totally weather dependent now. Now you got to look for weather windows. There should still be some good tuna fishing taking place, and we usually get a good run of sharks, and usually a good run of makos coming by in the fall. But again, you need the weather to do that, and with these offshore storms coming by, and who knows what's going to happen with Irma. We may get effects from Irma towards the end of the week, towards the weekend, or into next week. So just look for the weather window. Get out there. Don't forget, last year we had some really good big eye action late in the year, and also bluefin tuna action right up almost till Christmas. In fact, there was a good bite out at the canyons. So that fishing can still happen. In the surf, action definitely picking up, particularly at Montauk. If I had to pick a location for this weekend, I think I'd head east to Montauk. I spoke to Paul at Paulie's. The fishing was good right up through Wednesday when I spoke to him. Fish on the north side, on the south side. South side when it's fishable. If you got a big heave on, can't do it. You get beat up, especially if you're wetsuiting out to the rocks. But under the light, up front, there's been fish. Most of the fish are schoolies and fish into the teens. There's some bluefish mixed in, but there have been some shots of fish into the mid 30-pound class. There was a good bite Saturday night into Sunday morning up front under the light. A number of fish in the mid 30s taken. So there are some bigger fish around making their way in. Finally, they've been sitting out in the rips all summer, and it looks like Montauk's shaping up. A lot of bait out there. And most of these fish were being caught on bucktails. Speaking of the surf, don't forget the surf show, Fisherman Surf Show, coming up a week from today, actually. Thursday, September 14th. It's at the Huntington Hilton. That runs from 6 to 11 p.m. and it's $20 entry fee, $15 for 16 and under. We have ongoing seminars. We have a free raffle. Everybody gets a raffle ticket, some great prizes coming off: Lamiglass, St. Croix rods, Van Stahl reel. Some of the speaker lineup, Crazy Alberto and I will be there. Bill Wetzel, Al Gaggs from Al Gaggs Lures, Matt Broderick, Doc Muller and myself will all be speaking. There'll be simultaneous seminars going on through the night, and again, that big raffle. So come on down. We'll see you then. Until next week, or until the surf show. Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.
Win the incredible Steigercraft 21 dB Miami, powered by a Yamaha 200, in the ultimate season-long multiple species subscriber-only fishing competition, the Fisherman's 2017 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Go to thefisherman.com and enter today.